Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, the chairman of Wynn Resorts, Phil Satre, joins us for part one of a two-part interview. Here for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
My whole life has been public service. It's about people. And when we work together instead of yelling at each other, we get things done. We don't always get everything we want, but that's our system of government, give and take. We don't give up, we keep working, we keep pushing. And when we break ground on Nevada's first children's hospital, when crime rates come down, and when graduation rates improve, that motivates me. That's why I do it.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain, moving 95% of our freight in the Silver State. And while essential, the road isn't always smooth. Supply chain disruptions, rising fuel costs, and unrealistic rules and laws that hamper our ability to serve our customers and country. Our prosperity and every sector of the economy, manufacturing, mining, medicine, and food from farm to table, is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're absolutely delighted to be taping two programs with Phil Satre. He is the chairman of Wynn Resorts, and just a pleasure to have you here, sir. First of all, thank you.
Thank you.
Let me start out with a little history, because I went back on our website and Googled your name on there. So your first appearance on this program was in 2003. You were the chairman of Harrah's, and you appeared here with Bill Eddington from the Institute of Study of Gaming and Commercial Gaming. How big of an influence was he? Because that institute was the first of its kind.
He was very influential. Partly, Bill had a gaming review program up at Lake Tahoe annually, where he had invited people from all over the industry.
This would be EDP?
Yes,
right.
Yeah. But earlier than that, Bill Eddington goes all the way back to Holiday Inn's acquisition of Harrah's. Holiday Inn's hired him to analyze the gaming industry in Nevada, which is pretty much all there was back then. So we're talking about 1978 or 79. And Bill did an analysis and said, I think if you could acquire Harrah's, it would be the best fit between Holiday Inns and Harrah's. So that was sort of a justification. And then we were working on responsible gaming programs later than that, and we involved Bill deeply in helping us design those programs. So about the time that you're talking about, I had interacted with Bill, and then when we created the center, we asked him to be the manager of that center, for lack of a better word. He was really the director. But that turned out to be a very productive relationship.
Well, what I found very interesting about him, because I'm the eternal optimist, I'm always looking at the glass half full, and he was more like an attorney whose job it is to look for all the problems and relate them to you. And so he and I would have great discussions on this program, and I would be frustrated, but the reality was that he was right to point out all the possible pitfalls, and we dealt with them. You came on in 2010. At that point, you were chairman of NV Energy. In 2014, you were here. You were chairman of IGT. In 2014, you came on as a board member of the Wynn Center, along with Jill Derby and Nancy Bruin.
Yep.
That center is doing wonderfully under the direction of Jill Tolles. You just made her CEO.
Yes, she's done a terrific job for us.
Why, in your opinion, was it so important to have a center like this and operating the way it is today to give this unbiased information to the legislature?
The principal driver of creating the Gwynn Center occurred when the implementation of term limits began in Nevada. So there was a group of us that were talking about how are we going to make sure that this turnover between seasoned representatives of the public have to step back and replaced by people who don't have the same awareness and background. And there's obviously there's trade-offs in both of those, but that was the big driver. And Jill Derby, you mentioned her. We had Carol Harder from Southern Nevada. We had Joe Crowley from Northern Nevada. And we're all working together to see how we can form a nonpartisan organization that examines the political situation and provides background to new elected officials when they first start to go to Carson City. And really it was to create a body of work that could be shared with them on here's how to think about this type of law or this type of proposal that might occur at the Carson City level.
You know, it was so interesting because the population, when things are not going well, always looks to term limits. But then you look at the institutional knowledge of the Joe Deanys, the Bill Raggios, the Barbara Buckleys, and you realize what an incredible loss that is when they are no longer there.
Yep, it's exactly right.
All right, so moving on, your appearance in 2018, you've been here a lot.
I didn't realize that.
Your appearance in 2018 was the No on 3 issue. And then in 2021, you came on as chairman of Wynn Resorts with Gary Carano, chair of Caesars Entertainment, with the passing of John Esquaga. Yeah. So we have a lot of history on this program with you, and we are very grateful for that. As you look at the industry today, in Las Vegas in particular, and you noted this in a speech recently that you gave that was, I understand, a packed house in Las Vegas, that Las Vegas really to an extent is no longer, in quotes, a gambling town. It's become much more than that. How do you describe it?
One, I like that mix a lot better than being dependent upon gambling for our sole major source of revenue. So now that mix is a 65-35 mix, 65% non-gaming, 35% gaming. And when it's even a little more because the whole concept that was developed by Steve Wynn of an integrated resort that was part casino, part retail, part food and beverage, part entertainment facilities, and other types of convention facilities to drive a customer in that wasn't committed only to being there because they wanted to play blackjack or slot machines or baccarat or whatever. Those customers are very important, but we wanted to be able, and I think Steve thought about it first, we wanted to be able to attract people who wanted to have a luxury experience, an entertainment experience, even a shopping experience for that matter. And it became a very important, I think, development of the Las Vegas market. And, you know, we were doing programs that had more emphasis on international visitors from throughout the United States. Reno has been more focused on Northern Nevada, the Pacific Northwest, and Northern California, most importantly. And that has made it a little bit more difficult, I think, to change that mix without significant levels of capital investment.
But you're seeing that now with over $2 billion on the table for capital investment, at least over the next 8 years. Does that surprise you? Because I know in private conversations you and I have had over the years, when the Harris Plaza was opened up, which was formerly Harold's Club and the Nevada Club, you and I talked about that, and I thought, oh, what kind of great thing are you going to put on there? And you said the return on investment, you know, is not there.
Yeah, compared to our other investments throughout the United States, the lowest return was in Reno. And partly that was because the advent of Native American gaming in Northern California in particular, the concentration of Indian gaming operations in Northern California made it a lot more tempting for that customer whose almost singular purpose in coming to Reno was to play the slots or table games, and now they had an alternative. And those slot machines looked just like the ones they could play when they were in Reno, and the same with the blackjack table or the roulette game or whatever it might be. And I think that created a higher risk for Reno. We didn't also have the transportation lift that was being developed in Southern Nevada. I think we're doing a very good job now, but it was a much more difficult environment to get a customer who had a longer stay with a longer budget, that budget including non-gaming and gaming. Now, I do think that the Grand Sierra and the J Resort are beginning to change that mix here. And when the Grand Sierra went before the city, I testified on behalf of the Grand Sierra because I said, we need to start seeing this happen in this community for us to have a more vibrant resort environment. We have some very good resorts here, but we need to expand the experience for the guests beyond the casino floor.
Yes, to say the least. You know, it's interesting because, you know, if you go back to 1976, 1977, Kurt Kerkorian looked at Reno for no apparent reason and thought, well, I can put a 1,000-room hotel here with 4 pods that could eventually have 4,000 rooms, got to 2,000 rooms, and people from all over the world came to Reno, Nevada to see Hello Hollywood, Hello.
That's right.
And who would have thought? But he had that creative instinct to do that. When they built the second 1,000 rooms, I thought, well, that's pretty good. But I doubt that we're ever going to see 4,000 rooms. Now, just at the Tri Properties, you have 4,000 rooms. You have Grand Sierra, which you mentioned, looking to add another almost 1,000 rooms. You have J Resort, who knows at what point, but they own 200 acres in downtown Reno. It's a combination of people with money, but also with that creative urge to say, well, we can develop something in this Northern Nevada place that nobody else is seeing.
Yeah, and I think it has a lot of potential for us. One of the things that happened that I think is an example of how challenged it has been here, Bill Harrah loved the entertainment side of the business. I think the casino side was obviously, he understood the dynamics financially, but he really loved entertainers. I mean, he up at Lake Tahoe, Sammy Davis Jr., Frank Sinatra, John Denver. I mean, we just had a great lineup. But those theaters were so small comparatively.
Right.
They were great for the guest. It was an intimate environment. You were looking, almost any seat, you felt like you were sitting right in front of that entertainer. And it was so hard up at Lake Tahoe. If you wanted to expand your theater, double or triple it in size, they weren't very interested up there. In Reno, it just didn't happen during Bill Harrah's lifespan. I think he might have, this is speculation, because he loved the entertainment part, and seeing that become much more difficult, competing with these big arenas and other places where those entertainers could get 4, 5, 10 times what we were paying them.
Dolly Parton being the first one that broke that bridge, if you recall.
Yes.
She played 8 nights for, I think it was $800,000, and blew everybody's minds.
Yes. And so that has made it harder to get the kind of return that you can get investing into Las Vegas. But also, when we started expanding into Indian gaming operations and other standalone hotel casino operations, whether it was Atlantic City back in the 80s or in New Orleans in the 90s and places like that, everything got a little bigger in those environments than what was happening in Reno in terms of, and of course Las Vegas just took off with the most recent developments that you've seen that are extremely successful.
To say the least. Let's take a quick break. We'll make some money and we'll come back and we'll talk about more about Las Vegas. We'll be right back.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
'25 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
This summer, all roads lead to Tamarack Casino for trucks or bucks. Win up to $5,000 in cash every week. Buckle up and win a brand new Tundra or up to $45,000 in cash. Shift the winning and your good times into high gear at Tamarack Casino.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Phil Satre. He is the chairman of Wynn Resorts. When you were with Harrah's, where everybody else was terrified of Indian gaming, you embraced it.
And that was really because of my experience in Atlantic City in the early days of saying, don't underestimate the attraction of people who want to have an opportunity to have a night out gambling or, a 2-day stay or whatever it might be. And so when we first observed it, and the same was really true of riverboats. Those kind of converged at the same time. So as soon as I heard about the riverboats that opened up in Iowa, I went up and looked at them, and we were within 6 months building a casino in Joliet, Illinois, a floating casino. And in those days, you literally had to legally leave the dock and the boat, and it was like riverboat gambling, and come back, and that was basically the experience. And it's still one of my favorite experiences was watching this relatively small town in Illinois that really had lost all of its industry suddenly become vibrant again. And the mayor showered us with praise and all of that sort of stuff because we really changed the economics of that small town at that point in time. Indian gaming our first was in Arizona. And it was a little bit more of trying to understand how do you arrange this. We call it Harrah's, it's your land. We have a partnership, and we engage you in how to train the members of your community to work in this because unemployment was very high, health conditions were not good. And when we opened up in Aachen, the crowds were there, and immediately it was a success. But what made it most valuable from my experience was they immediately reinvested in health facilities, education facilities, and housing. And that carried out in the 4 or 5 other Indian gaming facilities we built during that time frame. It was a lifeline for many of those communities to have better health facilities, to have better education facilities, and, as I mentioned, better housing.
Was Total Rewards a part of that?
Yes, it was.
So that gave you access to this whole new base.
Yep. And that was our strategy. We wanted to have as much exposure to customers who were interested in the casino entertainment experience. And it was an interesting experience for us, Sam, because at the time, most of our competitors, Steve Wynn in particular, but others, were really focused on building big casinos in Nevada. We probably missed the boat a little bit on that, but we were looking at it and saying our strategy is to have the largest database of casino customers that we possibly could have, and much larger than our competitors. And giving that customer the opportunity to go to Atlantic City, go to Tahoe, go to Reno, go to Las Vegas, then go to riverboat casinos, go to Indian casinos, and all of that created this much larger database, which was, from our strategy, know your customer. Know what they want, know what kind of rewards they receive for visitation and all of that. And then our biggest competitor in Las Vegas, Steve Wynn, Steve builds product, and he builds beautiful product and attention to detail. And he once said to me, why do you have this thing called Total Rewards? He didn't have any interest in developing a reward program. We have one now, but that was the real difference. People were focused on either product, customer relationship, or in some cases, there was a focus on creating multiple experiences in there, which is the integrated resort that Steve and others developed.
All right, we're going to take a break here and come back with part 2 of the program. If you're watching or listening, you'll just have to go to the next program. But more with Phil Satre. He's the chair of Wynn Resorts, and a fascinating conversation after this.
Light up your July at the Carson Valley Inn. Win up to $25,000 in the All-American Progressive giveaways. $1,500 winner guaranteed each drawing night. And $30,000 in grand prize giveaways. Only at the Carson Valley Inn.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm Attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
For 50 years, Nevada Heating has been keeping people comfortable in their homes. At Nevada Heating, call the Do It Right guys and get the air conditioning back on today. That's the Nevada Heating way. Why sweat for days on end when Nevada Heating can get your air conditioning fixed today? Call us today and we'll fix it today at 323-5585 or schedule us on our website at nevadaheating.com.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Nevada Newsmakers is available as a podcast. It's also available on YouTube anytime you want to watch or listen. Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers.